If your bustier blouse never fits properly or the finishing isn't clean, watch this. I will show you how I sew this stylish design with a perfect result from start to finish. So let's get started. So these are the fabrics we are going to work with. We have 2 yards of bridal satin, 1 yard for the blouse and 1 yard for the sleeve. And then we also have our lining. We have 1 yard of lining. We have the luxury lace of 1 yard, and then we have our net for the sleeve, and then our zipper and our matching thread. So we've drawn all the lines. Okay, so from the starting point to that point is the chest line, which is bust point minus 2, which gives us 8.5. So the next line we have is the bust point. So the bust point is 11, under bust 15, the true waist length 17.5, and the full length of the blouse 27 inches, and then the nipple to nipple line of 4 inches, and we drew a straight line. Next is the full back measurement of 7 inches plus 3/4 inch, which gives us 8 1/4, and we marked the 8 1/4 on that line, while the armhole line is 8.5. So next we are going to take the neck depth for the front. So I marked 6 inches for the neck depth, and then for the neck width I took 4 inches. After marking 4 inches, I had to take the shoulder slant of 3/4. So after marking 3/4, I'm going to connect the shoulder slant to that of the neck width, and then from the neck width to the neck depth of 6 inches. So after connecting it, the next thing to do is to take 1.5 from the shoulder slant, just that part I placed the tape, mark 1.5 and then connect it to the bust point. But before then, from the bust point, go up by 1 inch and come down by 1 inch. This is to avoid sharpness around that bust area. So I use my armhole curve to connect it from the shoulder slant tip. Okay, then I extended the line by 2 inches. Okay, so next I am going to adjust it, okay, to the shoulder tip. Just see the way I have marked it. Next I'm going to the under bust section. At that middle panel I am going to take 1 inch. See where I place the tape, mark 1 inch. The other part you can use 1.5 or 1/3. In this case I used 1/3. I marked the 1/3. After that I'm going to use my armhole curve to connect it. Okay, so from that under bust I am going to make a curve to that 1 inch I came down by. I'm going to flip it over to the other part and connect it to the 1/3. After connecting it, I am going to use my pattern master to connect it from that under bust. Okay, see the way I placed it. So place yours in that pattern as well. Connect it to the line of the bust span. Okay, so just see the way I'm doing it. Trace it to that point so that there will be no gaping around that down part. I'll do the same for this other side. After that, the next thing to do is for us to take our body measurement. But before then, we are going to go to the shoulder stance, and then at that point we extended our line. We are going to mark 2 inches. Okay, you can use 2 inches or you can replace it with the 1.5 that we came down to do the alteration around that area. Okay, next is to take the bust circumference. So the bust is being divided by 4, so 43 divided by 4 gives us 10/3. I marked the 10/3 and then connected to the extension we did at that armhole. So see the way I placed my armhole curve. Connect yours in that manner and then add your seam allowance. So I added 3 inches seam allowance. If you want to make do with 2 inches seam allowance, you are free to do so. So next we are going to impute the under bust circumference of 33 divided by 4, which gives us 838 plus 2/3 inches for the alteration, and then plus the 2 inches seam allowance. So after that we are going to the true waist, which is 39 divided by 4, which gives us 9/3 plus 2 inches seam allowance and the 2 inches alteration around that area. Next we are going to impute the hip circumference of 44 divided by 4, which gives us 11 inches plus 2 inches seam allowance. Next we are going to use our pattern master to connect all the dots that we have marked. Okay, so after connecting, the next thing we are going to do is to do our bust dart alteration. What we are going to do now is to go to the bust point area and then place your tape from the bust line, okay, come down by 1.5 and then do your alteration. You can make use of 2 inches. Okay, so after connecting the line, we are done. It is time for us to cut what we have all out. So it is time for us to draft the pattern for the back. Okay, so we have the chest line of 8.5, the under bust 15, through waist 17.5, full length 25 inches, and then the full back of 8 1/4 plus seam allowance. The same with the chest line 8 1/4 and the armhole area 8.5. So next we are going to mark the neck width of 4 inches and then the back depth 3.5 inches. After connecting it, we are going to use our pattern master to connect the lines. Next, we are taking the shoulder slant of 3/4. We'll use our ruler to connect as well. After connecting from the armhole area, we are going to go up by 3 inches. Mark the 3 inches, use your armhole curve to connect that point, okay? So after connecting it, we are now going to take our dart intake, okay? So from the zipper allowance line, I'm going to take the nipple to nipple measurement or the bust span measurement of 4 inches, and then I'm going to mark the 4 inches. I'm marking for 4 inches all the way up to the point of the chest line, okay? So after marking for 4 inches, I'm going to use my ruler to draw a straight line by connecting all the points. Next, I will go to the under bust, the true waist. I will mark half inch on both sides and then connect it to the down part in a slant manner and do the same to the upper part in a slant manner. So after connecting, I will connect the other part. This is to contour the true waistline, okay, to have a snatch effect. So next, I am going to do my zipper bulge alteration. At that true waist, I am going to go inwards by 1 inch, and then I'm going to connect it in a slant manner to the zipper allowance line, okay? See how I placed my pattern master? Place yours in that manner and connect as well at the down part. So after connecting from that new line now, I'm going to take 1.5, 1.5, 1.5 all the way up and all the way down. This is to enable me to have my new zipper allowance line, okay? So I'm going to use my ruler to connect all the dots. So after that, take your bust circumference, your true waist circumference and your hip circumference and connect, and then cut your pattern out, okay? So this is the back panel. We have placed it on the bridle. So I'm going to cut exactly what I have. After cutting the bridle for the front, we are going to cut the bridle for the back. We'll do the same for the linings, and after which we are going to use our pattern with the bridle to cut the lace, okay? So enjoy the process of the cutting. So we are done. The next thing is for us to cut the lace. Okay, so see how I placed it. I had to bring the back panel downwards a little bit to the plain part because the lace we are working with is just 1 yard. Okay, so place the two patterns, okay, both the front and the back, on your 1 yard of fabric, and then pin your pattern to it and then see what it is going to give to you before you start cutting, so that you will not run short of fabric. So we are done cutting the front and the back panel. Okay, so I had to place the lace on the bridle. Okay, remember we infused stay on the bridle as well. So I will use my sewing machine to secure the lace and the bridle as one. So I'm going to sew it all around to make it stabilized, and then I'm going to place my lining on top of the front side of the back panel. I will sew the neckline, the zipper line, the down part, the sides, and then I will turn it from the armhole. I will do the same for the other parts, and then I'm going to iron it, put my dart, and show you what next to do. So this is the front panel. Okay, so the front panel, we are going to secure the bridle and the lace as one. Okay, just the way we did for the back panel. Pin all your panels, iron them out, sew their neckline, sew the sides. So after sewing the sides, we are going to join the panels. Okay, so let's cut the net. Now we are going to cut the sleeve. First of all is 1 yard of net. I folded into two and into four. So this is into four. Folding it again will give us into eight. Okay, so it is into eight, two for each of the sleeves. So next I'm going to take the length of the net part. Remember there is a flare at the down part, so I marked 17.5 inches, and then I drew a straight line because that down part is not really equal. Then I took the sleeve width of 5.5 and added 1.5 inches seam allowance. At the upper part, I'm going to mark 5.5. After marking 5.5, at that edge, okay, that tip, I am going to come down by 3.5. So from that 3.5, connect it to the upper part of 5.5 by making a curve. So from that curve, connect it again to the sleeve circumference, you see. So it's simple to cut. So let's cut what we have all out, meaning that we are done with the upper part of the plain net. Okay, so after cutting it out, we are now going to use our bridle to cut the flare. So it is the same bridle we are using for both the main fabric and the lining. After cutting, notch the midpoint. Okay, so after notching, when you open it, this is how it is going to look. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do is to cut the bridle for the flare. So we folded the bridle into two first of all, using the circumference that we have. So the sleeve circumference we are working with is 11 inches. So 11 divided by 6.28 is going to give us 138 plus the length of the sleeve, which is 7 inches. So 7 inches plus 138 will give us 838, plus the sewing allowance of 1 inch will give us 938. So we folded the fabric into two and folded again, which is into four. So from that starting point where I placed my tape, I'm going to mark 138 138 all the way around, and after that I'm going to place my tape again from that curve, and then I'm going to mark 8 inches. Okay, which is the length of the sleeve, that is the length of the flare plus 1 inch seam allowance. So after marking, I'm going to cut what I have. After cutting it out, we are going to cut extra 3 of this same flea. This is the first one we are cutting. So we are going to open it up, fold our fabric and cut the next one. Okay, so we are going to cut 4 of it. So fold into 2 again and then cut the second one and then cut extra 2. Okay, so after cutting all of them, we are done with our cutting. So the next thing we are going to do is to start the sewing process. Okay, so after cutting all the panels, you have to open it, place right side facing each other to sew all round and turn it to the other part. Okay, so we are going to head over to our sewing machine to start the sewing process. Okay, so this is it. Now we are going to place our hemming gum and then follow the round shape of the down part. Okay, so use your sewing machine to sew it just the way I am doing it. So after sewing to the end, you have to notch it. Okay, so now we've gotten to the end. Use your scissors to notch those areas all round. The essence of doing this is for it to relax very well. Okay, turn it and iron it. After turning it, this is what we have. Okay, so we are going to iron it out now and do the next one to sew the front panel. Okay, remember I said earlier that we are going to sew the bridle and the lace as one. So now we are joining the center panel and the side panel. So see me pinning it. So this pinning is very important. See how I'm pinning the curvy part, the busty area. Take your time to pin it very well. Okay, make sure all the lines align. Okay, so after pinning it to the upper part just the way you are seeing it, the next thing is to use our sewing machine to secure it. So to sew it now, we are going to use 1/2 inch to sew it all the way down. All right, so follow your pinning to sew exactly what you have. So after joining the sides, we are going to notch. So use your scissors to notch, cut off all the excess threads that are dangling on it, and then after notching, follow the curve again to sew. So this time you are going to top stitch on it. So enjoy the process. So once we are done with the top stitching of the blouse, we are going to do the same for the lining, and after which we are going to iron it out. After ironing it out, we are going to fix our cup and then turn the neckline. The cup that we are going to use, place the cup at the under bust line, then use your pin to secure it. After securing the first one, do the same for the other one and then use your needle and thread to sew it. So after sewing it, you are going to cross check it if it is okay, and then you are going to use your lining to turn the upper part. After turning the upper part, you are going to turn the sides and the down part as well, and then it means we are done with the fronts. So it is time for us to join the front and back panel. So now it is time for us to join the two shoulders. Okay, so place the right side facing each other for the front and the back, and then flip over one of the lining just the way I did it. Use your pin to secure it and then use your sewing machine to sew it. So after sewing it, do the same for the other part of it and then flip it over to the front side in order for you to cover the rough edges of the shoulder. Okay, so after joining the shoulders, the next thing we are going to do, so this is how it is looking, very neat. Do the same for the other part, and after which we are going to fix the sleeve and couple the blouse. So we are done fixing the sleeve and we've also piped the armhole. Everything is looking neat. So we are going to divide the bust by 2 and mark the circumference, the waist by 2 and the blouse hip by 2, and then we'll couple it, after which our model will wear it for us to see. You see, the outcome of this blouse is beautiful. So thank you so much for watching. My name is Lois Ada. If you found this video helpful, please like, share and also subscribe. Watch the next video on your screen to keep learning.